What are we looking at? This is some promotional concept art for a city known as The Line. It is apparently a linear smart city. And here is some of the concept art that's been shared in order to promote the construction of this city. It's also supposed to stretch 170 kilometers. I don't actually know what the scale of a Cities Skylines map is, but I'm pretty sure it's nowhere near 170 kilometers. I think Waterway Pass might be the map for us. And for this experiment, constructing the line in Cities Skylines, I figured the best thing to do is to unlock everything and give ourselves unlimited money. Landscaping might be free, but I imagine it'd be rather tricky to build this sort of city from the get-go. However, that might just be a challenge for you if you're an avid Cities Skylines player. What we're going to do is take a giant stretch of land like this spot here, and it's through this space that we're going to construct our very own line city. I found this location to be pretty ideal because there's nothing else going on in the terrain here. Yeah, we're going to go big. Right, I think up here is too high for building. Yeah, exceed city limits. Like, there is a height limit to the city. So we want to level off around this contour line. Oh my god. And so to build the line, which is going to be raised terrain, we're going to use brush strength 100, make this thing really big. And then we can go absolutely wild. Look at that shadow over there. This is crazy. What I've realized might be really useful here is this border that we've got. It helps me create like a straightish line. And we're going to want to run like a road down the edge of this thing. It's not going to be perfect, is it? But I think I can see straight away that the width we've got here is a little too wide. We're figuring things out a step at a time. I think we should start again and make this thing exactly the width of 2 of the world map tiles. Well, I'm learning if you hold this thing close to the edge, it kind of pulls the border up as close as it can go. It's going to be tedious, but I think it's going to be worth it to do this the whole way along. I feel like I've been doing this for hours, but it's only 15 minutes. And on this side, I could pull the border all the way up to the top, which is fantastic. But on the opposite side, for some reason, it is painfully slow to get it to come all the way up. I did some of that down the end here, but I just kind of lost my patience. Right, I was about to say we finished, but then I remembered I got to do the corners too. Oh, there we go. We have our very own line in City Skylines, and now we're going to build a city on top of it. Oh, this thing just looks absolutely janky. I love it. Alright, we can finally start to get into this because I've done something very important, which is put down all of these roads, which is harder than it looks because the snapping disappears when you go over a long distance. So I very carefully made sure that the entirety of this thing is on the same grid layout so that we can have a perfect grid up the top here. And let's face it, this is looking pretty awful. Probably not going to be able to do too much about the zoning area, but when it comes to the lines, now it's time to go and buy the next set of tiles. The reason we need this is because we can't actually make road connections or any type of connections at the edge of the map when the terrain is raised like this. I just had a very big lag spike. Yeah, if I like bring this over to the edge here, as you can see, like that's all that happens. There's nothing connecting to the outside world. So if we go to the normal terrain, you can see here that it's going to let us make a connection. So we're going to have some roads that sort of go all the way up the side here and connect. And I guess this will be the same for our trains. How are we going to do this? We're going to have to like tell it to go up like, oh my god, look at this. Yeah, it's actually doable. I'm going to place it. This won't be the permanent one. Yeah, this might just be the craziest train journey of your life. And now's probably a good time to mention that as I sort of zoom in and move around, we're going to see these like big bops up and down like that over and over again just because the camera shifts with the terrain. Anyways, I'm getting a little bit distracted at the moment. Let's get rid of these. Let's now jump forward in time a couple of hours. I've been experimenting with lots of road layouts and trying different things. What I've learned is that getting away from everything being symmetrical is probably a great idea. So this used to be the very middle of the line where we had a highway running through. I've now shifted it off to the side. This will be a straight road going all the way through, but some of these other ones that I've started to lay out, I don't think keeping them straight will make the whole project that interesting. Now, the function of the highway is for incoming traffic from outside of the area to get to its destination easily, and then this road on this side, this big one over here. That's how we're going to shuffle most of the traffic that goes up and down the line. So every now and then, that's going to need a connection that comes across these other roads, connects them up to make getting around nice and easy. But one thing I don't want to do is just turn this into a grid. So for our very first connection, we're going to go diagonal. Now, it's also important that the highway has a connection to these. I don't know quite how this is going to look, but look what I've done here at the end. I've created a little mini roundabout. Oh yeah, and these highways here, they're bringing traffic in and out of the city. If we spin around to this side, you can see the highway making its way down to the bottom here. And, you know, it's not pretty at this point. I've just thrown something together. So we're going to have a highway run from the edge of one side all the way over to the other. And that means that we got multiple connections here leading up to the city. On the opposite side, it hasn't worked out quite the same way. Despite building from the same road connection as the other side, on this side, they just wanted to go longer apart from one another. And that's actually like with both connections here. Oh, and this reminds me, I also wanted to create a connection on this roundabout. Oh, this is going to look so awkward. Aha, it exceeds the city limits. Can I not create a connection over here? Right, I'm being stupid. I need to do that. Well, this is turning out to be an absolute pain. This is actually really high up. Maybe as high as the line. So for now, just going to leave that there. I can't get it to connect. Well, that was a big distraction. We were going to work on this little connection. And what you'll probably notice is that the roundabout isn't exactly in the right place. Because if you want to go over in that direction, well, you'll need to go up and then turn around somewhere around here. Okay, it's very hidden, but we've got one just under that road. Let's get at this bit in the middle. Right, and I tried my best to make it look symmetrical and pretty, but there it is. So periodically, we're going to have like little intersections like this. So we really need to get to the fun stuff, zoning out the area, developing how it looks. But first of all, we need to put in some of the basic services like power. And I've decided that we're going to go nuclear. This will probably power the whole thing. But there's an issue, of course. This thing is absolutely massive. So we got our first block here. Our second one's going to be in this space. And then it'll be in the third. So I'm going to plop it down here. Of course, we can always move it around later on if we need to. And there are other big services we're going to need too, like the incinerator plant. So that's probably going to go in this slice too. So I think I need to develop these roads a little further. That was 100% true. Totally needed all of this. A lot of roads have been developed. I've also like split them up into zones, as you can see. Just going to sort of highlight the edges of those here. I think we've done 6 of them, or was it 5? Right, we've done 5 zones, but for some reason I called this zone 6. And that's as far as I'm going to go. It actually takes hours to build out all of these roads, make sure they're aligned with the grid. Oh yeah, and this little bit is unfinished because we've got a peculiar looking hole over here. What's going on down there? A stone monument. Let's just simply relocate that up here. And bam, we solved that problem. Right, and that'll be the last road to go through this area. Also, the stone monument is going down the end here. We can now get to business. We can unpause the game and start zoning areas. But because it's a fresh city, we have to develop it like normal. We can't just go and put all of the high density stuff that we're probably going to have closer to the middle. So on the outside, we'll start off with some low density housing across the back here. Our first commercial strips will follow this busier road closer to the middle. And then I think we're going to make zone 3 an industrial zone. We've obviously got the nuclear power plant here. So we now got a few blocks in play, but an obvious problem. We need a source of water, especially for the nuclear power plant. And the sewage is backed up here too, which is amazing because I got a brilliant solution for this. You see, we're getting an error that I don't think stops us from using this. It says not on shoreline. I'm going to place that. And I think what it'll do is flow poopy water over the edge. As for pumping out groundwater, looks like we actually have a spot all at this level. If we built it down here, its use would be 81%. Up at this height, it's around 60%. But actually, over here, look, 83. Okay, this is going to be the spot. Okay, so both for the water and the sewage, we just seem to require a couple of additional connections. Even though they already exist, they don't seem to want to flow down every single path. It could just be that the area up here is so high that these aren't actually doing what they're supposed to. I've put in 3 of them now. Okay, and now the poopy water's going. I'm definitely concerned about this Okay, that seemed to do the trick. Now it literally is someone else's problem. Oh, apparently it's my problem. We got a flooded road down the bottom now. I think the terrain is doing something strange with like underground water. I know, look at it from over here. No, the poopy water definitely was being deposited. It just looks like regular water over here. How strange. Okay then, I guess this needs to be a bridge because we're creating our own river. And it looks like eventually it'll join this main river over here. Yeah, and I guess due to this whole thing being very irregular gameplay, it's not solving the problem of backed up sewage. Well, as you can see, I've fixed the problem with one click of a button, and that was to create a pipe underground. Here it is. It needed an outbound connection to get stuff going. So, for whatever reason, I don't think we're actually managing our own water. I tried building some water towers up here. This doesn't seem to work at this height, so I think we're just going to have to import and export these things. Okay, I think now's a good time to clarify that we're going to go crazy with this. As I was putting in the fire station, or should I say, the firehouse. Yes, I thought, why don't I put in the bigger one that you have to unlock later on? We're not playing with money, we're doing a crazy concept, let's just go mega with this. So we're going to give everything the best services. Like over here, we've got a school with all of the upgrades. Over here is the police headquarters, not a police station, and then we've got a city park here. And that's when I realized that this means that we've got tourist attractions, we've got landmarks, all unlocked. Look at these things. A Ferris wheel. Wow. I think it should be like a sub-goal to try and build every single one of these types of building in this place. Oh, and that means all the specialized buildings are unlocked as well. Well, that's obviously going to put the city into easy mode, but it's just going to be fun to cram everything in here together. Anyways, we have lots of demand for housing. I'm going to put a row of the slightly denser stuff in across this space. We're also going to need a hospital somewhere in the area. I like to try and put these buildings near to the connections so they can get out to the main roads that take them to other parts of our city. And admittedly, like, it's a rather large building for the area, so maybe it's a good idea to put some higher density stuff here. This won't develop straight away, but I'm just going to sort of put this in as a bit of a reminder. And so yeah, it is about making this city look cool. And let's just zoom out for a second. Dang. What a crazy place to live. Okay, now it's pretty obvious we got problems with getting workers to work. Although it does say lack of labor, I think it's going to be a transport issue. And on either side of the highway in the middle, we have the raised roads, but we've also got like one main road that runs through that's very consistent. When I want to highlight a road, I need to go over the name of it. There we go. So that road there, and this one over here. I planned this from the very beginning. Those are going to be tram lines. And so we're going to go and upgrade all of this and use it as a public transport connection between those areas. We're lacking like a dead end for them to turn around in. Can I? Oh, I thought it was going to place it then. Alright, that's the only way it's going to place a road here. That is just stupid. That is stupid. But it might just work. No, it's not going to do a U-turn there. Okay, I was about to declare that we'd have to build our own U-turn, but maybe we could actually make it so that the stops never come down the end here and it just kind of ignores this. In fact, can I just revert it so it doesn't have trams? Maybe like that? Ah, there we go. Okay. So now this is the end of the line here. Now we got trams going back and forth through the city, but I have this irritating little bubble. There are currently no vehicles available. Well, our tram line has 12 trams, and the depot stores 15. Yeah, not entirely sure what that's about, but you may notice the side of the road here isn't green. I thought I'd add some green on the sides to create some distinction on these roads, but of course when you go and add a stop, it removes that. But anyway, there's some green on this one, there's some green on the one on the opposite side, and it too is going to have a tram line. I haven't even thought about developing this space over here yet. As you can see, the typical problem that we have is with commercial and not enough customers. Well, I was hoping the trams would help with this, but another thing is to include footpaths to make it easier to get from one spot to the other, rather than having to walk all the way down the street. There will be lots of little details and jobs for me to do, but I think we're just going to sort of focus on how the city looks as we expand, as I've gone and put in some interesting buildings down here in the industrial area. We have the ground earth sites, and then over here the fuel plant, although to be fair, these ones just sort of blend right in. And I think I found the biggest one. It's pretty ridiculous. I've gone and cleared some space over here. Let's put it near our nuclear power plant. Now I find this very interesting. Down here we've actually completely lost our office demand, and I haven't zoned any office. I would guess that this is related to education somehow. We now need to build a high school and a college. I am undoing a lot of my grids trying to squeeze this stuff in. I think maybe it makes sense to put this over here where we're yet to really develop that layout. It really is just a whole different challenge, a whole different way of looking at the game when you're playing without money. And we still can't get these bubbles over here to go away. Well, if we need more customers, we need more residents. But the thing I really wanted at the moment was offices to start to fill in some of this space around where we've already zoned. So with a couple extra roads, we got lots more space for residential. And so far, I think we've been doing everything. Oh, we've been doing it North American. Okay. So since we got two building themes, why don't we do like North American on one side and European on the other? So put in a nice old plaza here. Haven't actually built one of those yet. It's really nice to wrap the road around it. And then on the opposite side, a unique building, the square center. So I think it makes sense that this is a little commercial block just around here. Let's go ahead and zone this out. But by happy accident, the layout on this side kind of defies against the way the other one's done. You've got that main artery, we've got stuff stacked up so the commercial and high density are together, whereas on this one the up above road kind of splits it all up. So I think basically all of these are just going to be big blocks of low density. We'll have a little bit of mixed running along this side of the road, and then behind it is going to be nothing but offices, but we still don't have any office demand. Let's take a moment to take a step back and just take it all in. Alright, I got the tram line up and running on this side. Again, we got the same bubble with no vehicles, but whatever. It's a little hard to force growth in this game. You do have to be patient, but we're starting to get one or two high rises over here, and a lot of this space has been zoned up. I'm really looking forward to see these gaps fill in at the moment. But until we do that, what can we do to make our citizens happier? We can look down here and see that we got unreliable internet service. So this is one of the tabs that I didn't get to earlier, and again, because money ain't an issue, we can just kind of spam these things to solve the problem. Okay, each of our intersections is now home to one of these masks, and I don't know if I even talked about this because I've been doing so much. Look at that, it's now winter. And snow is creeping in based on what height it is, and because we're all the way up here, definitely gives the city a different look. Yeah, look at this. I put in a very crude roundabout, but it seems to be working. So regular activity in this game is your traffic checking. You're always going to go around and find some issues. Looks like we got a hotspot over here. And I must admit, I've become a bit tiresome of going in and micromanaging these. I find if you take away the traffic lights and one of the crossings, it can help make a big difference. And to be fair, wherever I'm finding red patches on the roads, there really isn't actually a lot of traffic there. I feel like the game highlights it in red before you have actual traffic stoppages, you know? Like a full-on traffic jam. Yeah, it kind of looks good everywhere. Right, and I'm going to plop this building over here. I'm forever getting distracted in this game, so I need to like go and watch my own editing of this video back just to kind of remind myself of all the things that we're focusing on here. But it does feel like it's a good moment just to let the game run and bring more people into the city, which is another reminder that we do have trucks and all sorts making their way in up these huge ramps. It's this road on the opposite side that seems to be the busiest, and it's kind of in the shadow of the line itself. Yeah, when you look at the entrance here, there's always something moving through it. It is winter, and there's lots going on, like some of the snow starting to disappear. And what's that off in the distance? Some sort of streak? Is it a poop streak? I think it is. Yep, the poop has come all the way down here. It's spread out. It's made its way into this river. But then when it goes off the edge of the map, it's just in a straight line. Looks real strange. Anyways, if we take a look down at this end, you can see things have developed pretty well. And there's some interesting looking spots here. So in one of my former videos, people informed me that when it comes to stone mining, you can actually build this anywhere you like. So I started out by using it just to fill in a spot down here to break up some of the industrial area, some of our specialized buildings. And then there's this other one that you can put anywhere as well, which is livestock farming. And so now every zone down here has been tiled up. There's a lot of offices that haven't been filled in though. And this building has reminded me of something else I wanted to do. Because there is always something else to do in this game, I have not built any waste management stuff, and I think that means that all of it gets exported out of the city, and then there tends to not really be like a consequence to that. There's no garbage pile-up messages. And I thought down the end here would be a perfect spot for the incinerator, but we've just kind of run out of space. Okay, it can be done if we sacrifice a block here and create a little extra space. So that and the recycling center have been brought in here. Also, I managed to clear this little bubble earlier. I don't think I actually mentioned it. You go to create a power line, and you just go into underground mode, and then I think I connected it to something. Can we actually connect it to that? Okay, so it gives you that. I think I connected it to itself. Yeah, look at this. They just connect to themselves, and that gets rid of the bubble. So if I put that there, it'll connect to that, and then we got no issues. So elsewhere in the city, I've been constructing more colleges and schools, slowly expanding some of the residential. Can't seem to keep on top of the college demand, though. Look at this. I think it's more of a transport issue. Ah, and there we go. Do you know what? I really prefer looking at it when it's green and grassy like this. So the next thing I want to do is a little on the wild side. I don't know if you saw it there. There was an aeroplane bouncing into this, which I just realized might have had a height issue and may make my next idea completely redundant. Can you guess what it is? It's definitely related to that aeroplane. I have cleared out this big space right here so that we have enough room to actually put an airport up here. Like, how ridiculous is this? Oh no. Wait, have I given myself? Yes. Oh, thank goodness. There is enough room here. So our tram line road, it goes around the top bit here. Might actually switch that over to this side because we're probably going to have a lot of traffic in front of the airport. There is also an international airport, but look, that's bigger than the width of this thing. We can build the Chirp X Space Center, though. I might put that nearby. Look at that. Pretty fancy. One of the other thoughts I had about developing the area was maybe like plopping these buildings down all around here and then moving them into the city as we want to develop them. Just so I'm reminded of everything that we have available. Oh my god, a rocket just launched! I mean, this thing has been here for like a couple of minutes and they're already launching rockets. Yeah, the specialized buildings, they blend in so well. We got one over here, one down there, and traffic is really humming now. There's a lot more going through the area. Oh, look at this. We haven't checked on this at all, have we? It's getting used. And although traffic slows down, it's not the biggest issue. I think the biggest issue is that you've got to come all the way across these lanes to turn around. So when you've got a lot of traffic, yeah, that might be a problem. This is probably why you never see this design in real life. Over here, though, uh-oh, I only put like the one-way turn. I didn't put the opposite one on these spots. Do we actually need the opposite one? Yeah, I could see how like one side would be more commonly used than the other, because if you're coming from over here to get to there, well, you can just nip through this bit. Anyway, this city is not about creating an amazing, well-designed city. It's just about having fun with this crazy concept of building up on this giant line. Oh boy, the traffic backs up real far on this one, all the way into this space, although it's mostly traffic like leaving the area that's struggling. You know, there isn't as much traffic up on my raised road as I would have liked, so this is basically a shortcut for getting from one side to the other. I don't think this is going to help, but I could put a connection there, and then if we can find a secondary one, oh, here it is, it's already in place. We kind of want a way just to say, like, no traffic going from one side to the other, which we could probably solve just by deleting this. I will leave the one on the other side for now, though. So yeah, all of that traffic has scooted down here. Where's the next one? Yep, now they're turning around over here. And now they're going to cause an issue over here. Oh, boy. I've seen multiple rockets launch, but no aeroplanes land. It has occurred to me that we... Oh, no, wait. There's no setting up of anything down here. I'm going to go ahead and do the upgrade since we're not playing with money. So all of that's there. But yeah, you don't actually set up a route to the outside. Although up here it says no track connection. Oh, there's a train track? I'm glad a little bit of space has been left here. Let's make this thing go underground. And then from here, we'll find a way to connect it down below. I know that this is going to look bad, whatever I do. Oh my goodness me, it actually let me do that. Right. I guess not too surprising. We've done it with the roads. So now all we need is an outside connection. That's set that up. Now what do we think? Are we going to get any planes landing? This whole playthrough has gone by with all of this zoning opportunity on the side of the edge, and you've been probably wondering, when am I going to take advantage of that? Oh. How about right now? Don't know what this is going to do. What has it done? Okay, it hasn't messed with the road. You know what? That kind of creates like a perfect edge, doesn't it? Am I about to learn that like we're going to zone all of that? Oh my god. Oh my god. We're going to the next level, peeps. Oh, this is just looking absurd. Oh god, I would not want to live there. I tell you what though, it really is like a finishing touch on this side. And I love the way it curves in here. That's so cool. Oh my god, this is crazy. Oh, this is just wonderful. I've officially zoned the whole thing. There's some industrial down this end, commercial in the middle to break up the residential and industrial. I'm going to sound like a broken record. If only I could get those offices to develop, we could just fill in so much extra space. There goes my aeroplane. What? I can click on you. Aha! It's a cargo one. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Oh, wait a minute. We upgraded this thing with a cargo terminal. Yeah, I have still yet to see anything land over here. Let's check out some of our issues. Oh my goodness me, that's a heck of a lot of traffic. Can we fix this? Let's get rid of the traffic lights. Why have we got such a build up here? It might be that we got lots of pedestrians crossing. That could possibly be it. Anyway, it seems to flow a little better now. This is the road that I built to deal with this. So we've moved that problem over here. That's generally how things work in this game with traffic. Yeah, we really don't want people walking around on these roads up here. What about an underground pedestrian street? I'm not entirely sure where all the foot traffic comes from, but it probably comes from somewhere near here. I could create a foot connection just through here. We would unfortunately kick out some residents, but that's not too much of a bother. Okay, crossing on the street, and then we want to go underground. Okay, kicking out another resident by the looks of it. Let's put that there. Yep, we got a connection. All good. And if this helps with the foot traffic at this area, I mean, that's going to be a huge incentive to build some underground foot traffic networks. There will never be any shortage of anything to do in this game, will there? Okay, now I'm filling out the space on the opposite side here. Kind of magic to watch the buildings pop in and then see all the terrain sort of line up. City looks so weird when it's just full of cars and they're all the same colour, which I guess is what happens at winter. Right, I've decided the city needs a little spectacle in it, so I've gone and put the Ferris wheel over here. Like right next to the road. Pretty cool spot. I think it needs some high-rise buildings around it, and we got tons of commercial demand. You always seem to have loads of this, and then you get the not enough customers complaint. But I really want to see the high buildings pop up in the middle here. And we can kind of force that look a little bit, because we do have some of these that we can plop down. Oh my god, how did I not spot this earlier? I swear I came here looking for this. Did I just click on the airport and expect to see this thing? Well, this should be easy. Click over here. Click over there. And then we go back again. That seems to be it. Right, now I've got to find the other connections. There's one all the way over here in the corner. Oh my god, this is going to look amazing when we've finished. Okay, let's make another one. Okay, this is wild. I just made all of the connections. All of them. I love these lines. That looks so cool. Wow. And now the planes are landing. Oh, it's probably going to generate a lot of traffic too. Okay, one's taking off. Lag spike. Here it goes. It's going over the top of me. There's another one over there too. Okay, I'm not really sure that the height of this thing messes with it. We've got 3 aeroplanes here. I think they're all landing. Oh, another 2 coming in. Oh my god, that's so dangerous. That should be illegal. One landed on top of the other. This one's now taking off. Come on. Oh, I just remembered that focus exists. Aha! Can I rotate the camera too? I can! Yes! Oh, that's awesome. Oh, and now it's dipping down because it's taken off from so high up. Well, that was a massive distraction because we were talking about developing this middle line here with some towers. It's slowly coming together, but the city just isn't big enough for that high density yet. Although, you know, it's sort of starting to get there. Right, so I'm zoning up more of this edge. There's not a crazy amount of demand for industrial, but I really want to know what happens when we build on the edge of this road. Ah yeah, quick happiness check. Unreliable mail service. I've not had much fun with this in the past. Let's build a post office. So we've got that and the post sorting facility too. Now what I've got to do is go and put mailboxes scattered throughout the city. Right, I've done all the postal stuff and wow, what a spectacular view we have here. From the other side, it's certainly a little bit janky. I've just remembered something extremely important that I completely forgot to build. It's the road maintenance depot. Okay, found you a home. Let's look at the state of our roads. I missed this in a previous video I recorded. You watch them go out, you get to see them change all the colour of the roads. There we go, they're doing their thing. Oh, look at them spreading out, turning the roads green. Isn't that just satisfying to see? I'm going to sit back and watch this for a minute. In fact, we need to sit back and review what's been going on, because I've been leaving the city to run, and you know what, it's just in that phase where people will continuously pour in. I think I started when we were under 30,000, and now when we zoom in, we can see lots of these buildings have developed, and most importantly, the high-rises in the middle looking great. If we pop down to the end here, almost all of the spaces have been filled in, which just looks so cool. And really, it's just the office demand that we are still waiting on. But slowly, you can see down here, they've been creeping in. And as the population goes up, I'm sure that space will fill in. We need to check back on a couple of things, though. One of them is the underground walkway. Did we build it here? Well, I'm seeing no one on our path. And I'm seeing lots of people up top. So I think that experiment failed. Yeah, it's a very lonely little path, I guess. The poop stream is still doing its thing too. I don't think there's any consequences other than this horrible lake. And I think the one big problem for me, which I suspect was by having a lot of well-developed industry, was getting students into the college. I built like 4 of these and it's still not enough. And now I need another elementary school. And when we zoom out, just look at that. It's crazy. There's just schools all over the place here. Then there's also the case of happiness down the bottom here. No surprise, unreliable mail service. I can never get this to work in a city. I've even been adjusting the budget for this, like I gave it 150% because obviously we're not playing with money. And let's look at how much we actually filled in this video. I'd say like probably over a third, but not quite half. It's been a fun experiment. It was going to be a one-off video. I didn't know how much of this I'd fill out. I actually thought it would be all of it, but now that I've been playing, yeah, it's taken me a whole day to get this far. So I'm going to make a part 2 if this video like pops off, or maybe I'll just live stream the rest of developing this world when I feel like it. But yeah, if you want to support this video, share it, whatever, and it pops off, maybe I'll come back and make a part 2. But otherwise, I'm going to continue with my regular Cities Skylines series as normal. Hope you enjoyed this special one-off, and I'll see you soon in another one. Bye-bye.